In chess, not every game ends in victory for either side. We're about to study the final subheading in Chapter 3 of E.S. Lowe's Chess in 30 Minutes Drawn Games. In just a few minutes, stay tuned. Hello again. Welcome back to my mini-series, E.S. Lowe's Chess in 30 Minutes, Study and Practical Application. I'm your host, Jeremy, and we are going to read Chapter 3, Other Important Rules, subheading, Drawn Games on page 51. This is episode 11 of our mini-series podcast. I hope you'll take some notes because we're learning about some very important techniques in dealing with drawn games and learning the difference between Perpetual check and Stalemate. Chess in 30 Minutes, Paperback by E.S. Lowe. Published in January 1st, 1955, 5 out of 5 stars. Barb 1992 said, 5 stars. Good handy book. Reviewed in the United States on May 14th, 2014. Verified purchase. Book is in really good condition. Arrived before scheduled time. Member of my family has had it for years. Now I can learn playing chess from my own copy. Clear and simple guide for a beginners. Buy this book on Amazon. Link in the description. And a new subheading, Drawn Games. Not every game of chess ends in victory for either side. You will recall that in our discussion of diagram 28, it was pointed out that without the white pawn, there could be no checkmate. In other words, the game is drawn. There are several other ways in which a game of chess may end in a draw. Let's go through them briefly. A game may be drawn by agreement. If both players are satisfied with a draw, they can end the game right then and there. This often happens when both players feel they have no likelihood of winning the game. A game may be called a draw if a player can show that no capture has been made and no pawn moved in the last 50 moves. Naturally, this rule will be invoked only under extraordinary circumstances, and these need to be explained. Suppose a player has a considerable advantage in material and doesn't know how to win with this material. Without this rule, he could drift on to doomsday. This rule therefore penalizes lack of skill. To invoke this rule, it is necessary to have a written score of the game. Otherwise, there is no way of knowing when the 50 moves have elapsed. Another type of draw arises when a position has occurred twice and is about to occur for the third time, with the same player on the move each time. Again, as a practical proposition, it would hardly be possible to claim this kind of draw without having a written record of the game. The draw by threefold repetition is hardly ever seen in friendly games. It occurs mostly in master tournaments and matches. Page 51, moving on to page 52. Page 52. The perpetual check is a fairly frequent method of ending a game in a draw. This occurs in positions where one player has the power of checking continually while his opponent is unable to put an end to the series of checks. Diagram 33 illustrates the mechanics of a perpetual check. Diagram 38 brackets white to move, perpetual check. Here we have the diagram here of a perpetual check. Next subheading or next paragraph. Black has an enormous plus in material and may therefore reasonably hope to win the game. Since white is hopelessly behind in material, he is naturally very happy to get a draw by perpetual check. This is how he does it. He plays 1, Q-K8CH, and black answers 1, K-R2. Now white checks again, 2, Q-R5 check, and black replies 2, K-N1. This brings us back to the position of diagram 38. Now white plays 3, q-k8ch, and black answers 3, k-r2. Once more after 4, q-r5ch, and the reply 4, k-n1, we are back again to the position of diagram 38, page 53. Obviously this can go on forever, so to save further time, the game is called a draw at this point. There is still one other kind of draw. It is known as quote-unquote stalemate. You will recall from diagram 23 that checkmate occurs when the king is attacked and cannot move to a square safe from enemy attack. Stalemate positions are slightly different, but the difference is very important. We get a stalemate position when the king is not attacked, but has no safe square to go to. Diagram 39 shows such a position. We have diagram 39 brackets, black to move, stalemate. Here we have the example of what a stalemate looks like on diagram 39. Next paragraph. Black's king is not attacked. However, it is black's turn to move. The king has no safe square to go to. Any square he can move to is attacked by the enemy. This is stalemate. The game is drawn despite white's overwhelming advantage in material. Brackets. Note that if it were white's move, this would not be stalemate. It is only when the weaker side's king has to move and can't that the stalemate rule is applied. Stalemate is also in a sense a penalty on a player who lacks the skill to apply his advantage incisively. And now for a brief chess notation review. The name of the king's square is K1. The bishop next to the king is known as the king bishop, brackets KB. The king bishop square is KB1. The knight next to the king bishop is the king knight, brackets KN. The king knight square is KN1, brackets. Thus you see that the abbreviation for knight is quote-unquote N. The rook next to the king knight is the king rook, brackets KR, and it stands on KR1. The queen, brackets Q, stands on Q1. The bishop next to the queen is the queen bishop, brackets QB. It stands on QB1. The knight next to the queen bishop is the queen knight, brackets QN. It stands on QN1. The rook next to the queen knight is the queen rook, brackets QR. It stands on QR1. Remember that the squares always have the same names, regardless of whether the original pieces are on them or not. And now let's review the pawns. Queen, rook, pawn, brackets QRP. Square, QR2. Queen, knight, pawn, brackets QNP. Square, QN2. Queen, bishop, pawn, brackets QNP. Square, QB2. Queen, pawn, brackets QP. Square, Q2. King, pawn, brackets KP. Square, K2. King, bishop, pawn, brackets KBP. Square, KB2. King, knight, pawn, brackets KNB. Square, KN2. King, rook, pawn, brackets KRP. Square, KR2. And now let's review some other abbreviations. X means captures. Minus means moves to. Exclamation point means a good move. Question mark means a bad move. CH means check. DIS space ch means discovered check. DBL space ch means double check. And finally, E.P. means captures in passing. ... before any abbreviation code means a chess piece from the black side. Now for a brief review on our lesson today. This is from page 52, diagram 38, brackets white to move, perpetual check. Black has an enormous plus in material and may therefore reasonably hope to win the game. Since white is hopelessly behind in material, he is naturally very happy to get a draw by perpetual check. This is how he does it. He plays 1 Q-K8 CH and black answers 1 ... K-R2. Now white checks again. 2 Q-R5 CH and black replies 2 ... K-N1. This brings us back to the position of diagram 38. Now white plays 3 Q-K8 CH and black answers 3 ... K-R2. Once more, after 4 Q-R5 CH and the reply 4 ... K-N1, we are back again to the position of diagram 38. Obviously, this can go on forever, so to save further time, the game is called a draw at this point. We get a stalemate position when the king is not attacked, but has no safe square to go to. Diagram 39 shows such a position. Diagram 39, brackets black to move, stalemate. Black's king is not attacked. However, it is black's turn to move. The king has no safe square to go to. Any square he can move to is attacked by the enemy. This is stalemate. The game is drawn, despite white's overwhelming advantage in material. Note that if it were white's move, this would not be stalemate. It is only when the weaker side's king has to move and can't. Stalemate is also in a sense a penalty on a player who lacks the skill to apply his advantage incisively. And just in case there's an audience listening to this podcast without any video, here is diagram 39, brackets black to move. This is a stalemate, page 53. I'm describing all the pieces here. White king on section E5, the white knight on section B4, the white rook on section D2, the black king on section H8, the white queen on section G9, and the white bishop on section G5. Page 54. And folks, that will be our reading for today. And we've completed chapter 3 entirely. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in next time. Next episode, we are going to read page 54, the new chapter, chapter 4, Winning Techniques. I hope you join me for that next time. Make sure to send some likes, send some love to my YouTube channel, YouTube video, and subscribe. Click the notification bell. I would appreciate it. It means a lot to me. If you want to be notified of the latest videos on this channel, please click that bell. Make sure it's wiggling. I do appreciate it. And that way you can be notified of new videos. Till next time, enjoy your game of chess and bye for now.